Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Georgiana with Expressions Craft Studio, and today we're working on another project. This is another quick and easy one. Today's project comes to us from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures, and it's part of her Christmas Treat Gift Series for 2025, and this is number 2. I will link her video below. Hers are very different than the ones I'm creating here, but I love hers. I just don't have those papers, and I really am just trying to use what I have already. So everything here that you see in this cute little treat holder is from my scrap pile or stuff I've already printed and used. I didn't create anything new here today other than the cut file in Design Space, which I'll go ahead and show you real quick because I did it 2 different ways. So here's the file in Design Space, and as always, I will share this link with you for free. You just have to go to the Expressions Craft Studio Facebook page, which I have linked below. Now there's 2 links. There's a group and a page. The group is fairly inactive. You can join it if you want. I'd love for people to join and share their creations. But the page is where I'm sharing all of the files. So make sure you grab the Facebook page if you're looking for this freebie. So as we're looking at this design, and you can see I've named it down here so everybody knows that they've got the right one. The one on the left is the one that she created. This is the one using her measurements and all of that. So the one on the right, I just modified just a little bit. It's her measurements except for this little thumb pull here that allows you to get down into that envelope or pouch a little bit better. The ones I cut out to show you, I didn't put that on. I didn't cut those out yet. But sometimes when you're trying to stuff something in there that might be kind of a tight fit, it's nice to have that little bit of extra space without, catching your finger as you're trying to kind of cram it in there. I know, I'm so graceful. But anyway, so you have your option of the 2 files. Again, it's totally free. You do not have to have a Design Space or Access subscription. It's free in Design Space. It's all free shapes. So you don't have to have the subscription. If you don't have one, you don't need it for this file. And that's the way I usually try to make mine, but I can't always quite manage it. So let's see. So here we go. So we're going to switch back to the desktop. And this is the one I'm going to make. So I've just kind of played around with my scraps, trying to figure out what my cut pieces, would fit in here very well, or, would fit in here the best. I've taken some of my scrap snowflakes, some of my scrap sentiments, just some of the extra digital files from Creative Fabrica, and then just some die cuts that I had. But you could certainly cut something like this out on your Cricut. And we've done it before. I just cut them out really small. I should have cut them out much bigger and thicker. So let's put together first our pouch or envelope or gift treat holder, whatever you want to call it. Now, I'm using like an 80-pound weight. Depending on what you're putting in there, you might be able to go with a lighter paper. If you do yours like she did, and again, that video is linked below, you're going to be adding layers, which I did include in the file. I just didn't add them to my finished project. But if you're going to be adding layers, you're going to add some weight to it anyway to help, kind of stabilize it and stiffen it up. I am still using that pad from, where did I put it? From all these years. Now I've used it for like 3 years. I'm dropping stuff on the floor. This Winter Frost pad. And I'm down to literally, I have 1 full sheet left in there. Otherwise, all I have are scraps. So I'm excited to kind of finish that up. I'm thinking I'll get some gift card holders out of this. Sorry, just picking up my mess. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this. So, but I did want to show you, this was a happy accident. So this is kind of, it's just gray with white snowflakes on it. It's not very, it's pretty blasé. And the other side was these messages, the tags that you can cut out. And it's almost perfectly going to let me put this one on the front. So I'm going to fold it up and see what that looks like. But I might be able to have that Holly Jolly Christmas on the front if it works out okay. I didn't plan that. If I had planned it, I might have actually been able to scoot that over and make it fit better. So I'm looking for my score lines, which are always a little bit hard to find for me. All right, so I'm going to fold this up, and I just kind of find the, ooh, dropped it, the scores, and I ended up tearing that one a little bit. And then I'm just going to line it up at the bottom. Let's see, maybe zoom in a little. And burnish that score line. And then I'm going to do the same over here. And then I'll turn it inside out and see how it looks. But I don't think it's going to work, which is okay. That's why I've intended for it to be on the back anyway. So again, I've got my little score line here, my hard to see. There it is. So I just kind of get it and give it a pinch just to get it started. And then I like to line up the edge here. Give that a burnish. And then we can score or fold our bottom score. It's a little easier to see. Okay. And I'll fold that down. Alright, so now you're going to glue your flaps. Yeah, that holly jolly won't quite work, so that's alright. So you want to add a little bit of glue to this edge here and a little bit of glue to this edge here. Or you can use tape if that's your preferred go-to method. That is always an option. I think I let my glue dry. Yeah, I did. Sometimes it'll sit there good, and other times it plugs up pretty quick. Alright, so we're going to glue the edge. Like a nice little bead of glue, and then we're going to glue the edge here as well. And I'm going to fold it over. And actually, before I do that, if you're worried about your glue spreading out and sealing this up, you can use a piece of wax paper, and that will not stick. So it'll give you a minute to remove that. I used this little extra strip here a while ago, and that worked fine. So we're just burnishing that glue really good, spreading that out, and then we can glue our bottom. And again, if you prefer tape, tape is fine. I find that the time it takes me to get the tape, to line it up on there, to tear it off, it's not really faster for me. Now the dry time is a little faster because you don't have that, but depending on what I'm gluing, or taping, I tend to add glue anyway, just so I can move it around a little bit if I need to. Okay, so I did get a little tearing there from when I bobbled it earlier, but I think that's going to be okay. So there you go. There you've got your pouch. Look at that. Now, she was putting hot chocolate in hers, and I don't know which brand. It might have been Swiss Miss. That's kind of what the package looked like to me. If you're using something different and you need to resize this, just, make sure everything's selected and either enlarge it or shrink it to fit whatever you're going to be putting in there. But you can see this gives you quite a bit of room. I like the Land O'Lakes hot chocolates. I find those to be the best. I was looking earlier to see what other options are out there, and there's actually quite a few now. And they have the same flavors that the Land O'Lakes has. Ghirardelli makes them, so there are a lot of options that you could put in here. And it doesn't have to be a hot chocolate. You could probably put maybe one of those large jumbo candy bars in there. I don't know, but you could certainly put other stuff in there. So I think that's cute. So let's decorate this other one. Now I just kind of laid this all out, and I have since moved everything. Thought I'd lost my snowflake. I do need my tweezers though. Okay, so I'm going to start by laying down my, what did we decide that was called? Rick-rack? Brick-brack? I don't know. And I just knocked all my little bowl of snowflakes over. Oh my gosh. I need a bigger desk. I need like a wraparound Star Trek desk where it's just got an opening for me to slide into. And then I can just, you know, spin around and work. Okay, so I'm going to get kind of an idea, actually, figure out where I want my glue. So I'm going to guess I'm going to go kind of middle to middle. And then I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm just going to kind of slide them up underneath there and drop them down. So I know my glue doesn't need to go past that point. And I'm just going to add some glue. And again, you can use tape runner. It'd be challenging to use either one of those on this particular shape. But where there's a will, there is a way. Alright, so I'm going to hold this edge up, figure out about where I want it. Kind of make sure it's even. And drop that off. Did I get it even? I rarely do, so and then I try to fix it and I make it worse. Okay, I think that'll work. People should just know by now, if they're getting something from me, it's gonna be a little bit crooked. It just is. Alright, so I'm gonna take and just snip that off of the edge. And snip it off of this edge. Okay, so we've got the bottom one down. Now, I may or may not put the top one on there. I haven't decided yet. If you wanted to, you know, zhuzh these up a little bit, I recommend adding, either doing these, you know, these trims in either a foil or a metallic cardstock or even vinyl. Some of the vinyls are really pretty and would work really well as well. Those are just options. I'm going to add some Wink Estella because I have plenty of it, and I'm going to go from there. So I'm just kind of trying to make this more or less match. I think that's pretty good. So again, I'm just going to kind of butt the flat edge of my tweezers, this part right here, it's flat, up against the edge of that pocket. And that's where I know where my glue, because I don't like to get glue all over everything. I'm sure I think too much, put way too much thought into stuff. I can't tell you where that's just my personality, where it picks up and drops off, and where it's my upbringing. It's probably a combination of the two. But that is just how I am. Alright, so get that lined up. Is it straight? I think it is. Spread that glue out. And give this a trim. So don't forget to check out Laura's page, which is, again, is linked below, because she's got a lot of other ideas, and these are great for office gift type situations or teacher gifts or classroom gifts and craft fairs. So you have a lot of options. Now here I got to decide, do I want to lift that up? Because if I pop that up and then I pop up the Merry Christmas, or I could pop, I don't know. I kind of like that hanging like that. Maybe not that much. And then I could put the Merry Christmas down here. I hate to cover up any part of that because I just think it's so cute. I could put it down here. That doesn't cover up as much. And then I've got my snowflakes. We'll put one down here and one up there. I need another one, but I knocked them over, and I don't think I had another one in that color anyway. So, decisions. I mean, I don't hate that. Feels like it needs something over here, though. I probably need 3 of these snowflakes, and I don't have 3 in this darker color, but I like the contrast. So we're just gonna do it. I don't know. I gotta put that up there, and then the corner down here needs something. Oh, guys. All right. How about I move that up a little bit? There we go. What do you think? I think I like that. So I'm gonna start gluing stuff down. So grab my tweezers here before I do anything else and glue down these snowflakes. I might add some Wink Castilla to them too. I probably should, well, I was gonna say I should have done that before I decided to glue them down, but then I have to wait for them to dry. Okay. Just give that a little push. Make sure that glue gets a good bite onto that paper. Do the same with this one. Just and I want this one kind of slightly different angle than that one, so we'll do it like this. Just press, 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 press. All right. So I don't think well, yeah, I do think I want it popped up a little bit. Here we go. We've got some dots here, so let's do that. I'm thinking maybe I should glue this on here first, and then I can just dot the whole background. Okay. So glue up over here on this side. It's probably more glue than I need, but yeah, definitely too much glue. Didn't need to put it down there. Alright, so add some pop-up dots to the back of this, or whatever you call them. Let's go get these edges down here. Tip that one up and put one over here and one more down here and the last one over here, and then I think I will use this outside edge to fill in the background of the stocking. So let's do it like, now these are primarily going to be a one-time use thing, and I've talked about this a little bit in my videos, including the last one. You know, how much work you put into these really kind of depends on how they're going to be used. You know, because materials aren't cheap and they're only getting more expensive by the day. So, depending on what you plan to do with them, that will help you determine how much effort and supplies you want to invest in them. So for instance, if you're going to be selling them, you're going to want to make them a little more special and eye-catching. If you are just giving them as gifts, you can save yourself a little bit of money and save on the bling a little bit. If you're like me and you have a closet, even stuff you haven't even had room to unpack, in your craft supplies, because you've been curating them for years, you have, those options to consider as well, because I am strongly working on using up my stash. I don't have any reason to think I'm leaving this world anytime soon, but if I do, I have seen firsthand what it's like for those who are left behind, trying to clean up your supplies, whether they're, craft supplies or you're just a curator in general. And yes, I'm using that word very intentionally. I'm not going to call anybody a hoarder. And listen, I come from a long line of those people, so it's kind of tongue-in-cheek for me, but that's why I know how hard it is for the people who are left behind, because they're left to clean up the mess. And I don't want that for anybody who has to come in and clean up my mess, or clean out my closet, or unpack boxes that I've never gotten a chance to unpack because I just don't have any room for those supplies. I had to do it with my mom, I had to do it with my grandmother. I have other family members that I wouldn't want to do that for, just because I know that they have a lot of stuff. So yeah, I'm just trying to use what I have, save money, because who doesn't need to save money nowadays? And part of that is too, you're going to be making some really unusual gifts, or have some unusual embellishments, because maybe like me, you bought stuff 20 years ago and you're just now getting around to using it. Well, that stuff isn't for sale anymore in a lot of cases, and so you're going to have an interesting look to your stuff that some people might not be able to achieve because they can't get the same products that you're using. So that's just an added positive outlook. I like to look for the silver lining. I should put glue on that so I could reposition it, but I did not. Anyway, I like to look for the silver lining, and so that's my silver lining. Looky there. So now all we need is our wink of Stella, which is right here. It was just sitting there waiting for me. I always have such a hard time with that cap. So I'm just going to brush it on. And I'll set it off to the side and let it dry. It's really coming out in a puddle. I must have squeezed it accidentally. Now, I should have just done the snowflakes, because I'm going to have to do the one at the top as well, because they have to match. You could use ribbon here. I have plenty of ribbon I could have used. I just had these little die cuts closer. What else could you, obviously, all of your jewels and rhinestones and that kind of stuff is always a nice addition. Turn it around and do this side. What else can I think of? I don't like fussy cutting, but I know a lot of kits have fussy cuts included, or ephemera, whatever you want to call it. However, you can do a lot of that stuff with your, if not your Cricut, then a scan and cut if you have one of those. That's part of the reason I like digitals, so that I don't have to drag out one of my other machines. Ooh, there we go. Now, do I want to add it to the snowflakes, since that one snowflake is laying right on top? But I do think snowflakes need to sparkle, so maybe I'll just put it in the center and then just brush it out so I'm not completely filling in the snowflake. There you go. I like that. So let's do that over here. Nice little circled center. And then brush it out to the tips. Now snowflakes would look really good. So there's some really pretty vinyls out there. And vinyl tends to cut more intricately for me than paper or cardstock. And you could get glitter ones, you can get foil ones, you can get all kinds of stuff, and those would look really nice on there. So here we go. I don't have any packets of hot chocolate to stick in there. I had some that my sister left. Sissy, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I tried one in an act of desperation. It was sugar-free. Okay, no offense to the sugar-free people. I get that some people have to have that. I would rather do without. My taste buds are very particular when it comes to sugar substitutes. They do not like them. So, like I said, I would rather do without. So, I don't have those anymore. Sorry, Sissy. I threw them out because I didn't want to accidentally grab one again. It was that bad. And I'm not going to name a brand, but you could probably figure it out. Popular store brand. Anywho, there you go. A little bit of Wink Estella makes a difference. Can't really see it on the top, but it's there, and it shows up better on those darker snowflakes. So there's your little gift pouch. Now, if you have, I think I got it all over my fingers. If you have a sticker or a stamp or something that you use to, mark your stuff so that people can check back with you, it's a good place to put it right there on the back, because there's really nothing else on there. So there you go. Now I have one more to decorate. I'll try not to get glue and Wink Estella all over me when I do that one, but I think it's really cute, and I am happy that I found this. I'm trying to clear out my area here. I'm happy that I found this design, or this project idea, I should say, which again was by, let me grab my note because I can't remember doodly these days. It was from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures, and it's the video Christmas Treat Gift Series number 2 for 2025, number 2. And she'll be linked below, so check her out. If you guys make this project, please go and post it on the Facebook page or the Facebook group. It's free to join. You can join the group if you want. I'd love to see, I'd love to see your makes and see your take on this idea. It is super cute though. And again, so many options that you can do on here. Some lace, stickers. I mean, I just don't even know where to start. There's so many options. So there you go, guys. One other freebie. Thank you, Laura, and your Trinkets and Treasures or Treats and Treasures video series. Those are nice. I think I did another one of your projects, which actually, what did I do with that? I'm not going to show it because I'm not sure it was yours, but if it was yours, it was a little folded. I'm going to get it. It should be right here. It was this little folded pouch. I hope this was yours. If it's not, I apologize, and I'll try to figure out who it was so I can give them credit, because I do like to share my inspirational crafty friends out there. Anyway, this is just one piece, a 6x6. I used paper. It's a heavier paper because it's for origami folding. I had a pack that I'd never done anything with, and the green is perfect for Christmas. But you don't need any dies. You don't even need the Cricut for this, guys. It's so easy. So if I find this video, I'll link it below. If it's not yours, Laura, I'm sorry. And if it is yours, it was another easy project that I just embellished with some of my pre-cuts for my print and cut. And again, 6x6, it's easy. She shows you how to fold it. So there you go. I didn't do a video on it because I didn't need to use the Cricut or anything, and your video tells you how to do everything. So anyway, guys, so until next time, guys, I hope you have a happy crafty day.